Oh my gosh. Christians have been saying this since forever. Hey folks, Father Columba here. How are ya? I was talking to a friend. He's not Catholic, but very, very devout Protestant. And we were having this great conversation. So cool to hear what was God's do, because it was all about God and the faith. And because we were getting into like tricky territory and stuff seemed to be contradicting itself. And we're like, oh. And he says, actually, I think this is a good sign. He said, I've found that whenever I'm talking about God, if there doesn't seem to be an apparent contradiction in there, then I'm probably wrong. God is a mystery. Like there's so much about God that's unknowable. That means there has to be stuff about him that is what we call a paradox. There's stuff about him it can't fit in our brain. So our brain kind of tries to bring together these different parts and kind of goes, what? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. It seems to contradict itself. Our brain says, no, that can't be right. And yet we know that this thing is right, and this thing is right. But what they seem to point to, what? But my friend is saying that over and over and over again, it seems to him that this is exactly the zone in which God lives in. He veils himself. He hides behind paradox, apparent contradiction. The great convert to Catholicism, G.K. Chesterton, was a huge champion of this. He absolutely thrived on this. You've got this, but you've got this. Huh? It must be God. It's a profound idea. It says in the book of Proverbs that it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, and it is the glory of kings to search a thing out. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing. It's his glory to hide. Not just information. I'm going to hide the secret of whatever. The location of the Ark of the Covenant. I'm going to hide that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about understanding and mysteries and ideas, concepts. It's his glory to hide that stuff. And ultimately, it's his glory to hide himself. And it is the glory of kings, you and me, who are called into this royal family, Jesus' royal family, that we are members of. St. Paul agrees with this, and he says we are already seated in heavenly places, seated meaning on thrones. The book of Revelation talks about that too, that we will be seated on his throne. So we're in this royal family, so we are these kings and queens, and it is our glory to search things out. What we often discover is this veiled thing called a paradox. What could this be? Give me examples, Father Columba, for goodness sake. Stop talking in riddles. Okay, so God is one. It's one God, just one. And God is three persons. Well, okay, so he's one? Yeah. And he's three? Yeah. That doesn't make any mathematical sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is an apparent contradiction. This cannot exist in reality, but it does. Pardon the interruption. Hope you don't mind. Just take a moment, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. This one in particular, big thing for me, the desire in my heart, in my life, to make an impact, to positively bless other people the way I've been so blessed by encountering Jesus and his love through the church. If you're similar and you'd like to help do that, you could do that by supporting us. Consider becoming a member. Here with Call to More, the link's below. Thank you. God bless. Do you know what's amazing? And Pope Benedict, in his earlier writing of the Introduction to Christianity, a really, really profound book. Pope Benedict in the Introduction to Christianity kind of refers to this thing, and he connects it up to quantum mechanics and makes a reference to the law of complementarity, or the principle of complementarity, as being kind of similar to this, that in quantum experiments, that particles, they act one way one time, and then they act like a different thing another time, like totally different. In order for us to understand the very core of reality, we have to embrace this notion of paradox. Oh my gosh. Because Christians have been saying this since forever. Now, we haven't been saying it about, subatomic particles, but we've been saying it about the same essential thing. If you want to understand reality, you have to accept this notion of paradox. In fact, if you aren't speaking in terms of paradox, you're probably not talking about God. And this is a thing, like we would say in Catholic theology, we don't go either or. We don't go either God is one or God is three. We say both and. And it's a great little way to say, okay, are we speaking about paradox now? It's just to say, okay, could I phrase this as a both and? Yeah, God is both my intimate, close, loving, tender, merciful, kind friend, and he is the judge who will come to judge the living and the dead, and he is greatly to be feared, and he is an impartial judge, and he is justice itself. And before him, every knee will bow, and all of the powers and principalities tremble in terror. Which is he? And if we say he is either this or that, then we are on the wrong track. We want to say he is both this incredibly tender mercy and he is this unmoving, unswerving force of justice. He is justice itself. So we approach him with a both and. We approach him with tender intimacy and with almost terrified reverence. But if we just take one of those, we're off. So what does this mean? Well, I give it to you as a rule of thumb. Sometimes we can try to oversimplify things that are just not simplifiable. Well, I want this whole Trinity thing just doesn't make sense. So I'm throwing it out. Okay, well then you're going to throw out God, and you have to throw out the Bible, and you have to throw out the entire Christian tradition. Just because it can't fit in my brain. If it fit in my brain, it wouldn't be God. Is the basic idea of paradox. Okay, so how can we handle this? Well, what I would encourage, if you find this difficult, to kind of bring two contradictions together and live peacefully with that, like that just doesn't make sense. If you're struggling with that, consider shifting from knowledge over to wonder. Knowledge, I want to know this. No, just give me the yes or no. It's a simple question. Give me a simple answer. Is God one or God is he three? Is he loving, tender, kind, or is he terrifying and greatly to be feared? Tell me. That's knowledge. It wants clear answers. And knowledge is good. We want to go after knowledge 100%. But if we miss the reality, if we insist on everything getting categorized, we will miss what is most important. We will miss reality. And even science tells us this. You will definitely miss the heart of your brothers and sisters, and there's no way you could understand God. But if we shift from just this knowledge, which is good and has its place, but when we talk about the mystery of God, to shift over into wonder. So what's wonder? Wonder is the attitude of a child. Children have, up to in their very young ages, they say that psychologically, they have almost this magical attitude towards life. Wow. They see something, they have no idea what's behind and what makes it work. And they're not at that age where they ask all the questions and they have to pull everything back and see exactly how it works. They just are able to accept and go, oh, wow. So can we experience God, experience these apparent contradictions, and just be there, just enter into wonder? Aristotle said, wonder is the birth of philosophy, meaning knowledge comes from first place yourself in that place of, wow. Just let the reality strike you. Wonder will get us a lot further in God than will strict knowledge. I have this wonderful quote from Mr. Rogers. If you know Mr. Rogers from the TV show, there's a wonderful movie about him. Here's what Fred Rogers says about this. It seems to me that some of us value information over wonder and noise over silence. And I feel that we need a lot more wonder and a lot more silence in our lives. Certainly, if we want to get closer to understanding, or just to be able to go after connection, intimacy, and union with God, silence and wonder will get us a whole lot further. God bless you.